in the holiday 17, back with another PvP. Y'all do your favorite on smash that like that for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you here for a good time or a long time, if you could do your boy solid, hit that thumbs up. Whether it's your first time, if you could do your boy a favor, not make it your last time. Let me make sure y'all can hear me clearly. Whether it's your first time, if you could do your boy a favor, not make it your last time. Okay, facts. Okay, so whether it's your first time, if you could do your boy a favor, not make it your last time. Here you drop this informational tea on y'all real quick. This is real spill, not a drill, right? This is coming, straight from the horse's mouth, itself, Eddie Hearn, right? Give or take on how much you value the word of Eddie Hearn, right? Give or take, on what it means to you, right? Eddie Hearn said has said that Conor Benn versus Manny Pacquiao is basically a done deal. He said it's a done deal depending on if Conor Benn decides indeed to choose Manny Pacquiao. He said right now, Conor Benn has the option of three opponents, right? He said Conor Benn has the option of three opponents. One opponent being Chris Eubank Jr. because the Chris Eubank Jr. and Liam Smith rematch, is not going to take place because Liam Smith is in the Canelo Alvarez sweepstake. He got a title fight. I think it's against Callum Smith, IBF title fight versus Callum Smith, or a IBF title fight versus Callum Smith, or something like that. If I'm not sure, but Liam Smith, I think, is about to fight. I think no, not Callum Smith. Liam Smith is about to fight somebody for the 168-pound title. He's had his name come up, so him and that Chris Eubank rematch is not going to happen, right? So that opens up Chris Eubank Jr. You know what I mean, for Conor Benn to fight, right? But Eddie Hearn said Conor Benn has three options: Kell Brook, Chris Eubank Jr., and Manny Pacquiao, right? And I would think, right? And I think if those three are the options, right? If those are the three options that Conor Benn has, right? I think it's safe to say that Conor Benn and Manny Pacquiao is indeed, you know what I mean, going to go down. Because you look at it, Conor Benn stated himself, right, not too long ago, he stated himself that he was no longer interested in fighting Chris Eubank Jr. He said, I'm not interested in fighting Liam Smith's sloppy seconds. You know what I mean? The fight with him and Kell Brook, right? Very well could happen. Kell Brook said that he's coming out of retirement. Kell Brook is looking, you know what I mean, for a big fight, right? But if I'm Conor Benn, right, or if I'm even the powers that be, if I'm one of those guys, right, who's making this fight, what's good, Shower Allah? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Shower. Glad you can make it, Queen. Glad you can make it. If you could, Queen, hit that thumbs up for your boy. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time. Here with a bit of some bit of breaking news. Actually, it's not a bit of breaking news. This actually is breaking news. You know what I mean? You probably go hear it later, right? You probably go hear it later. I'm sure you'll hear it eventually from later on. It's gonna get through the wire, right? Now, I'm not saying that what's good, Tay Tay MMA. Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Tay Tay. Glad you can make it, Queen. If y'all could hit that thumbs up for your boy. I ain't go take up too much of y'all time. We're just coming to hit y'all with this tad bit. I'm gonna also read straight from this article, right? Going to be Eddie Hearn's word, you know what I mean, verbatim. So you don't have to take my word for it, right? It's coming straight from the horse's mouth. You know what I mean? He said this fight is pretty much a done deal, depending on if Conor Benn wants to accept the fight or not. Again, Conor Benn has three options right now: Manny Pacquiao, Kell Brook, or Chris Eubank Jr. You know what I mean? He said, "Wait, I thought Pacquiao was retired." So I smashed the button in the Temple T. Appreciate you, Shower Allah. My girl Tay Tay MMA. Appreciate y'all. Yes, Manny is retired. Manny is retired, right? But Manny Pacquiao has decided, to come out of retirement and continue his boxing career. I had made an EP about this a bunch many months ago, right? That Manny Pacquiao was planning on coming back to boxing if indeed he did not win the presidential election, which I was telling you what's good, Jazz. Appreciate you sliding through. Which I was, putting out there that it wasn't looking like that he was, going to win it. Which is not surprised. Like a lot of people don't win the presidential election the very first time, right? Some do, some don't. But some of those guys, they run a few times, right? They work their way up through the rankings, right? So Manny Pacquiao ran this time, he didn't win, but there was more so him. There was more so him just putting his name in the ballot, maybe for a later win. You know what I mean? His chances to win this election wasn't really good. So I put out a certainty, right, stating that he will be coming back. You know what I mean, to boxing, right? He go let the presidential election run around, but until then, Manny Pacquiao's going to need to make money. You know what I mean? At heart, Manny Pacquiao. She said he got that Roy Jones. She said he got that Roy Jones disease. Right. He not quite as old, right, as Roy, but it is a little bit of that going on. Yeah, but Manny is still fighting. He hadn't had a fight in a minute, right? He hadn't fight in a minute, but he's making a comeback, and it's looking like that he's going to make his comeback against Conor Benn. You know what I mean? That's what it's looking like. I'm about to read to you guys like straight from this article, right? So y'all don't got to take my word for it. Shower said Pac needs to stay retired and fight exhibitions is safer. Lord, right? It is a little safer, right? But Manny Pacquiao, I don't know if y'all remember, but I remember, right? Manny Pacquiao stated right around the time I was announcing that he was going to come back, right? Manny Pacquiao said that if he's going to come back, he could fight a couple, exhibitions to get ready, right? But he said if he's going to come back, he don't want to fight all exhibitions. Manny Pacquiao said he would like to come back and actually compete, against the best, and he would actually like to compete for championships in the division. He said he wanted to compete against a contender, or he wanted to face off against one of the champions, right? And Conor Benn, who was just reinstated by the WBC. He was reinstated by the WBC at number 7. You know what I mean? So Manny Pacquiao coming back, getting him a win over Conor Benn would it indeed be, a win in the top 10, of boxing, which will put Manny Pacquiao right back into title contention at the 147-pound division. You know what I mean? Y'all was at a comeback against a drug cheat. His poor wife, that Pacquiao is my age, 44. He needs to sit his ass down. He very well, right, y'all? He very well, may sit down. Pacquiao say, he coming back, for the love of the sport and whatnot. But I personally think, he coming back, for the bread. He coming back to fund his presidential campaign when he choose to do it, right? He's a fighter. All he know is fight, man, right? So he go fight. He feel like he got a little juice left. What's good, right? So he getting back in there, right? But let me read directly from this article. This is the words of Eddie Hearn. You know what I mean? So this news coming straight from Eddie Hearn, right, on Max Room. He said Conor Benn, the Conor Benn and Manny Pacquiao fight is ready to go. He said depending on, if Conor Benn decides to choose Manny Pacquiao, because he has options right now, Manny Pacquiao, Kell Brook, or Chris Eubank Jr. But Conor Benn recently vividly said that he doesn't want to fight Liam Smith leftover, so we could throw away Chris Eubank Jr. So that will leave Kell Brook and a Manny Pacquiao. And I'm thinking if you got to choose between Kell Brook and Manny Pacquiao, you go with the bigger name, right? Both are big names, right? Maybe that Kell Brook fight will still be there after the Manny Pacquiao fight. If you lose, even if you win it, right? That fight will still be there. I'm thinking if it's coming down to it, you fight Manny Pacquiao, you get the Manny Pacquiao name on your resume. shout out to Kell Brook, goddamn. Yup, Kell Brook, Manny Pacquiao, Chris Eubank Jr., Conor Benn, him and Floyd got issues. Yep, those are Conor Benn's 3 fight choices, right? But let me go and get into this article. Real quick, y'all. If y'all catching this thing on the playback, y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all hit that subscription button. As well. When you roll on in, we talk this good boxing every single day, not just today. You know what I mean? But this is real spiel, not a drill. Coming straight from Eddie Hearn. He said Conor Benn and Manny Pacquiao is as good as done, depending on, if Conor Benn decides to go with Manny Pacquiao or Kell Brook or Chris Eubank Jr., right? But I'm about to read from the article, y'all. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all hit that thumbs up. Promoter Eddie Hearn says the only hurdle to making a fight between his client Conor Benn and the great Manny Pacquiao is whether or not his team actually decides to offer the Filipino icon the deal. Hearn, the head of Matchroom, which promotes England's Benn, that embattled the welterweight, tested positive twice last year for a banned performance-enhancing substance, offered a highly affirmative response to a recent inquiry regarding the status of the Benn Pacquiao showdown. It all depends on Benn and company. It all depends on if Benn and company decides to go with Pacquiao as his opponent, as opposed to the 2 other potential candidates, Chris Eubank Jr. and Kell Brook. Otherwise, there appears to be no obstacles restricting Conor Benn versus Manny Pacquiao. And this is Eddie Hearn words directly, right? I'm about to read, quote unquote. He's ready to go. Eddie Hearn said on a potential fight between Conor Benn and Manny Pacquiao. He's ready to go. We've got a couple side offers. It's rather we select that fight out of the other 3 fights. The other 2 fights being Kell Brook and Chris Eubank Jr., right? This is Eddie Hearn added, Manny Pacquiao wants to fight with Conor Benn badly. Damn it, man. What's good? Damn it, man. Appreciate you sliding through this thing. Damn it, man. Yo, I got 7 people in the building. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, I got 7 people in the building. I got 11 likes. It's been more than 11 y'all to come through here. Y'all help get your boy right. Let YouTube know that we live. Let YouTube know that we talking this good boxing. Just informing y'all that Conor Benn and Manny Pacquiao very well could be going down this year, says Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn says right now it's just up to Conor Benn if he's going to pick Manny Pacquiao over the other 2 opponents, being Kell Brook and Chris Eubank Jr., right? But I digress. Eddie Hearn also stated that Manny Pacquiao wants this fight badly. You know what I mean? Which Manny Pacquiao has already stated himself. Manny Pacquiao said he wants to come back. He wants to come back against a top contender. He don't want to do a bunch of exhibitions. He wants to compete for titles, right? Conor Benn is being reinstated, number 7 in the WBC. So a Conor Benn versus Manny Pacquiao fight will hold weight for title contention, especially if Earl Spence is going to officially remove himself from that WBC, right, and go up to 54. This very well could be, eliminated, right? But I digress. Manny Pacquiao Benn has been the topic ever since Benn was reinstated into the welterweight rankings by the WBC last month. Whether or not Manny Pacquiao actually gets the nod, boxing scene understands that Benn will headline the card in Dubai June the 3rd, right? So Conor Benn has a fight day coming up June the 3rd, and they're trying to see exactly who Conor Benn is going to fight for that June the 3rd date, right? But Manny Pacquiao is, an option in the opponent for Conor Benn in that June 3rd date. I will tell you this, I don't think it's going to be Chris Eubank Jr. at all, because Conor Ben has already came out and said that he don't want to fight Liam Smith's leftovers. You know what I mean? So I think we could throw that one away. So I think it's pretty much coming down to Kell Brook and Manny Pacquiao, right? Type deal. But I'm going to keep reading it. It said Ben is unable to fight in the United Kingdom because he does not have a British boxing license with the Board of Control, with whom Ben has continually butted heads with. Ben relinquished his license after the initial revelation of his positive drug test. And though he is currently under investigation by the board of the UK, right? Board of UCAT, United Kingdom Anti-Doping. Ben has repeatedly refused to cooperate with them, even going so far as to threaten legal action. While Pacquiao has appeared to be the front runner for the Conor Benn fight, so you got right there, them saying Manny Pacquiao is the front runner for the Conor Benn fight. That's kind of like what I was feeling, right? But I didn't want to see it without being sure. But this article just cleared it up for me, right? Conor Benn is looking like the front runner for, Manny Pacquiao is looking like the front runner for Conor Benn. That man said, Ben go KO Manny. Oh, that's right. Hearn has repeatedly said his preference is for his client to fight Chris Eubank Jr., right? So it's looking like Manny Pacquiao is going to be the front runner, but Eddie Hearn wants him to fight Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Benn already came out and stated that he don't want to fight Liam Smith leftovers, right? So it's looking like 1-2 right now. Manny Pacquiao and Chris Eubank Jr. Eddie Hearn probably feels like Chris Eubank Jr. Makes a lot of money in the UK, so he want to do that fight. But I think all of those fights, Kell Brook and Chris Eubank Jr., those fights are still on the table for Conor Benn in the UK, even if he is to lose to, Manny Pacquiao. So I think you take the Manny Pacquiao fight if you got it on the table, right? But I digress. While Manny Pacquiao appears to be the front runner for the Benn fight, Hearn has repeatedly said his preference is for Conor Benn to fight Chris Eubank Jr., the British middleweight who was coming off an upset loss to Liam Smith earlier this year. Ben and Eubank were originally supposed to face each other last October, but several days out from the fight, Ben was revealed to have failed the drug test, which much brouhaha led to the cancellation of their highly regarded 157-pound catchweight fight. Several weeks later, it was revealed that Ben had tested positive for the same substance, chlorphormine, a fertility drug that boosts testosterone level in men earlier this year. Eubank Jr. was reported to have activated his rematch clause with Liam Smith, but according to Hearn, there is nothing firm in place, meaning he could possibly pivot the fight with Conor Benn. Smith versus Benn 2 will be promoted by Boxer, a rival to Hearn's Matchroom. No, he's not signed up, Hearn said Eubank Jr. He wants to make the fight, but he wants to make more money than he was getting for the last time, but he's been beaten. That's what he said about Chris Eubank Jr. What's good, Taylor Bell? Taylor Bell, can you do your boy a favor, Taylor Bell? Can you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel? Yep, Taylor Bell. This is Real Spill, not a drill. Shout out my guy Taylor Bell. If you just getting in the building, could y'all hit that thumbs up? Also, if it's your first time, if you could, not make it your last time. Yep, Conor Benn and Manny Pacquiao looking like it very well could be a done deal. Eddie Hearn said Manny Pacquiao is looking like the front runner to be the Conor Benn fight for June 3rd in Dubai. Appreciate you. Shout out my guy Taylor Bell. He said it's looking like June 3rd in Dubai. It could be Conor Benn versus Manny Pacquiao. There's also a Chris Eubank Jr. fight on the table, and also a Kell Brook fight on the table as well. You know what I mean? He said the Chris Eubank and Liam Smith Jr. fight is looking like that it may not happen, even though Eubank Jr., punched in his rematch clause. Eddie Hearn said it's looking like it might not happen because Chris Eubank Jr. still wants the most money, even though he lost last time. So Eddie Hearn is not willing to give Chris Eubank Jr. more money, even though Liam Smith beat him last time. He said so he could swing Chris Eubank Jr. to maybe fight Conor Benn, which will earn him more money than the Liam Smith fight, right? He said that could happen, but he said the front runner is looking like Conor Benn versus Manny Pacquiao. But I digress, right? I'm gonna finish this article out for you. But yeah, Taylor Bell, Benn versus Pacquiao, June 3rd is what it's looking like. He said another fight Eddie Hearn proposed as a potential opponent for Benn's return outside of Chris Eubank Jr. and Manny Pacquiao is retired welterweight Kell Brook, who has hinted at a ring return this year. However, Hearn said he wants to preserve that fight for the UK. He said the Kell Brook fight is a tremendous fight, but that is a fight for the UK, Hearn said. Obviously, with the legal stuff going on right now with the British Board of Boxing Control, I don't think his next fight will be in the UK, but it's definitely between those three who Conor Benn will fight next. Hearn said he expects an announcement to be he expects an announcement on Ben's opponent this week coming up. Like this week, he means, today is Sunday. He means Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You know what I mean? He said, so this week coming up, be expecting an announcement on Conor Ben's next opponent. G Fizzle, what's good, G Fizzle? And it's looking like Conor Ben's next opponent is going to be goddamn Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? Conor Benn versus Manny Pacquiao is looking like this thing getting real close. I've been following this, fight for a minute, right? I put out some little tad bits, you know what I mean? But it's looking like it's starting to make itself on together, right? Now, official announcement for Conor Benn's next fight is going to be made next week. It's looking like it could be Manny Pacquiao. I ain't gonna lie. I know some people ain't gonna like it, right? And I can understand it, right, with all the controversy and everything surrounding it, right? Manny Pacquiao being a little older, right? A lot of people are already feeling like Conor Benn is a sideshow. Then you fight old Manny Pacquiao, right? That's playing right into the sideshow, right? But I actually, for one, I do, want to see this fight. I'm a fan of Manny Pacquiao. I'm a fan of Conor Benn. I'm highly interested to see exactly what Conor Benn would look like, post steroid allegation, right? Post failed drug test. I'm curious to see exactly what he would look like. You know what I mean? Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy. Y'all help YouTube know that we live, that we talking this good boxing. I don't know if you heard it here first, right? But if you did hear it here first, if you don't believe it, you don't necessarily gotta believe it, but trust me, you will hear about it later. An official announcement is going to be made sometime this week. Officially, right? It hasn't been announced, but what it's looking like is that Manny Pacquiao versus Conor Benn, June 3rd in Dubai. You know what I mean? This coming straight from Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn said he would rather him fight Chris Eubank Jr. It don't look like the Liam Smith versus Chris Eubank Jr. fight is going to happen because Chris Eubank Jr. still wants more money than Liam Smith, and Eddie Hearn is not willing to do that. Liam Smith being his client, right? He said so he could swing Chris Eubank Jr. to fight Conor Benn if that payday is what he's seeking. But Conor Benn has openly said that he's really no longer interested in fighting. That he's no longer interested in fighting Chris Eubank Jr. You know what I mean? And you got Kell Brook, who's on the table for Conor Benn. And if you're asking me, right, which fight would I rather have, Conor Benn or Manny Pacquiao? I'm gonna take Manny Pacquiao in a heartbeat, right? So I ain't gonna keep y'all in this thing too long, right? I may do another EP a little later. Come and have another conversation with y'all, right? I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. Conor Benn versus Manny Pacquiao, June 3rd in Dubai. Remember where you heard it first. Skinny T. I said Skinny T. I'm acting like Shaw now. Skinny Hardaway, Southern T. This ain't the past, this ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Look.